I have a couple minutes, so I'm going to show you I did some of the graphics on this page. I went ahead and put this picture here. Notice you can see the graininess of the texture behind it. I also made this graphic so that it looks like you're looking through a tear in the background. And I made it so that wherever I put that picture, it looks like a tear. No matter where I put it, you'll see the background as if it's a hole in that background. And I'll show you a little bit about how to do this this burn effect in the bottom. Okay, so here we go. Let's begin. I opened up a new document, 960 by 600, and I have my grid already set up. Notice that there are grids in between. The way I did that is I double clicked the ruler, went to guides and grids, made a grid every 80 pixels like we normally do, but this time I did subdivisions 2, which means that there will be 2 subdivisions. That's what that means. I don't know how you do 2 and there's 4, but it don't matter. Now, what I'm going to do first is create this header according to the color scheme. You'll see that the colors, for the most part, well, not for the most part, they do. They all match and they all look together. They look good together. That's very essential when you're trying to create unity on a site. Now, the way I did that, I opened a picture of Fremont himself, did Command A, Command C, and then Command V. I never place. Place, you get the so-called smart objects. And then Command T, I can go and maneuver him around there, just like that. Make sure you hold the shift. If you do not hold the shift, this video is programmed to make your eyes fall out of your head because you deserve it. All right, so I'm going to put this in place. I'm going to try to stay conformed to my grid in everything, including the graphics. Notice how he fits in that grid, adds a lot of organization and unity to the whole thing. Then I will either hit return or hit that check mark. Now you can see our header is going to be 240 pixels high up, but there's too much of John Fremont right here. So with my marching ants, I am going to draw a rectangle under the 240 pixels. Yes, the marching ants, and then I'm going to hit delete, and there he is. Okay, so I can remove parts just by surrounding them with the marching ants and hitting delete. Now I want to put a background on this. How am I going to get a color that matches? Well, first of all, I'm going to create the background. Let's just call it background. We'll call this Fremont. Okay, now on the background layer, I'm going to draw the marching ants. I am not, repeat, I am not going to use this rectangle down here. That's the rectangle tool. No, don't use that. Use the marching ants. Now with that selected, I'm going to find a color inside this picture to use as a background. And the way I do that, I click my front color block and I get a color picker. But I'm not going to pick any of these colors. I'm going to watch what happens when I move my cursor off of the color picker. Look, it turns into an eyedrop tool. So I can go in here and grab a color from this picture. Here's the orange that comes from his head. Here's from his cheek. Here's from his sash. Here's from this cloud. Here's from the sky. Some more sky. There's all kinds of sky going on here. I think I will pick this. Yes, that should look nice. So I am going to hit OK. And because this square is in front, I'm going to hit my Command Delete. And it fills in that background with a color from the picture. Now, in order to get it to fade out, I'm going to go back up to Fremont. I'm going to hold Command and click the picture, and look, the marching ants come back. That's how you can get it to the marching ants back. All you have to do is click the icon while holding command. All right, then I'm going to go down here and create a layer mask. You can see the layer mask here. The white is the picture. The black is what's protected. Now, with the brush, I know that I'm going to be painting with black because black takes off. Okay, and white puts on. Ooh, my brush is kind of small, so I'm going to hit my brackets, make it really big, and I'm going to make sure that the brush is soft. And I'm going to make this opacity go down, I don't know, 56%. Now I'm able, with my masking layer selected, so you can tell selected by those white corners around it, I'm going to begin to paint off. And what we're doing is we are hiding some of the picture so that the back is revealed. There. So now we have Fremont, and it begins to fade off into the background. Okay, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to write his name, but I am going to use my grid because my grid helps me to organize. Notice how Fremont is in that grid. So I'm going to click. I am not going to draw a text box. I'm just going to click. Okay, I'm going to increase the font size because that is way too small. I just want to be able to see it. I'm going to do John C. Fremont. Just like that. Now, I can change the color of this as well by double clicking on it. Ooh, I should probably make that capital. I'm going to double click it, and then I can do the same thing with the color picker that I did down here by clicking the text color up here. Notice how as it goes off of the picker, it turns into that eyedropper. Let's see. So now I'm going to make it, I don't know. Let's see. Oh, that's too orange. Okay, that's pretty good. I got some off of his hair. I want to make it. There we go. So I got it off of his shoulder. Then when I hit OK, now we can see that the font is conforming to the color scheme. And that's what's important. Alright, so let me change the font. I can highlight it and just hit down on my directional arrows until I see a font that I like. Whoa. Let's see. No. But is there no Comic Sans on this here computer? Ooh, that's kind of nice because it looks like it's kind of old-fashioned. Now, I can go up to this double T by the size and I can drag it sideways. Start by clicking and holding on the T, and you can resize those letters. Okay, now I'm going to turn on my grid again because I want this to be organized. Let's see. Okay, I'm going to keep, oh, that's good right there. Notice how it stays within the grid. Okay, now I'm going to put his little, they used to call him the Pathfinder, because he was some kind of explorer, who knows. And now that that's highlighted, I can drag it. Okay, move it up here. Also conforming to the grid. I'm gonna increase by click. Yeah, here we go. By dragging that until it will conform to our grid system. Okay, but that should be maybe another color font. I can move it by holding command and pushing the directional arrows. Okay, so what I'm going to do, now that I know it's a part of the grid, I'm going to pick another color. I'm going to do that by going up to the text color and moving so I can take a look-see. Okay, so I got that color off of his collar. Okay. And we know from our wonderful website that May 29th, 1843, so let's put that up there. May 29th, 1843. I'm going to change the font. It's not really responsive, is it? I'm just going to, once this is selected up here, I can hit my up and down arrows and see if I can find a font that might complement that font. Alright, let's see if they have a bold here. Okay, so I kind of picked a sans serif font to complement that. Okay, get my grid back. Gonna move my 18 by May. Okay, and then I'm gonna hit this here left align. I'm going to pick a beautiful color from, whoa, maybe too much. Okay, there, that's good. I'm going to pick the color a little bit off of his sash right there. And now I'm going to make it so that it fits within my grid. By having it left aligned, it helps me. Okay, let's see if we can get it on the grid. Okay, just a wee bit more. Okay, so there's that. And with my directional arrows and holding command, I can move it around. I'm going to, wow, these are in the way. So I am going to decrease the opacity a little bit. I might have to increase it a little bit when I put my background graphics in. But for the most part, you can see how using the colors on the main picture, yeah, that's pretty ugly, isn't it? It doesn't matter, you get the idea. Using the colors on the picture itself will give you that unity. So let's go back, get our grid back, and let's do the button bar. Our button bar is going to be half of the 80. I'm going to create a new layer above the background, or it doesn't matter really. I'm going to pick a color off of the picture. Oh yeah. And filling it with that color. And I might as well go do the footer as long as I'm at it. So I see the pixels here. I created a new layer for it. I filled it with the same color just so that we have some kind of unity going on here. There. So we're getting something that kind of looks like there's a lot of unity going on here. Okay. Now that that's in place, we can see that there needs to be a little bit more balance. Which means I gotta change this font. This is just terrible. But I'm not gonna worry about it because you